Whoa!
McGruff the crime dog is back. Why did they bring him back?
Well, animation got a whole lot better.
Did it though?
No, apparently it didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, what episode are we on?
114?
Oh,
we know it was a Geico ad.
You know Geico steals all the good shit.
Do they?
Apparently they do.
Take a bite out of crime. Yeah, I think it's episode 114 this week.
Alright, so let's get started. Go ahead and do the intro.
We're not recording.
Oh, yeah. It's been a long week.
It really has. I was talking to my coworker while we were walking to our cars. I'm like, I can't believe it's only Wednesday because it feels like it's been an entire week already. ASU cheerleaders.
I had a friend who was an ASU cheerleader.
She's very tall.
And then she became a Phoenix Suns cheerleader.
That checks out.
But she didn't tell anyone she was doing it for 2 years. Because she didn't want to be bombarded with
That's
messages.
probably a good idea. It's probably a good call.
Yeah, it is.
Games tomorrow. There you go.
No Pixar podcast. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
That's for you.
Are we streaming?
Yeah, we've been streaming.
Did you toot sweet?
Yes, I did.
Did you hit record?
We are recording.
I mean, I could see that, but since you pushed record, I started making it obvious that I knew that.
Yes.
Hi! Welcome to the Media Boat Podcast, the most professional podcast in the world.
As you can tell by our shirts.
We are so professional.
If you're listening to us, as you can tell by our voices.
You can't tell, but we probably sound pretty professional. This is the Media Boat Podcast. This is March the 14th.
It is Pie Day, everyone.
2018.
We're trying to get through this one pretty fast because we
have
some pie to eat.
Oh, I'm sure. The Media Boat Podcast is your source for the news about movies, television, video games, and music. Not necessarily in that order, as well as things we've been enjoying ourselves and our opinions about them. All sorts of things await you in today's episode.
We've got quite a few opinions to get through today.
Oh, yes,
both in TV and movies and video games. And do we have music as well?
I don't think so.
I didn't get a chance to listen to the Daniel Radcliffe album.
I'm sure we'll talk about some music anyways.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, my name is Matt. His name is Mike.
Yeah, I'm Mike. He's Matt. We're a Bebop Podcast.
This
and we get started.
Number 114.
Yes. If you missed the previous 113 episodes, that's okay. You don't need to catch up. But in case you do, they're all on our Podbean.
It's true.
And we'll get to where you can find us later. But right now, let's dive right into the news.
So yeah, well actually, let's start where we always start, which is in movies. And first thing about movies is the box office numbers. So we have had a new record this week. Not necessarily number one record, but your number one movie is still Black Panther in its fourth week at number one. Its fourth week out. And it has finally crossed the $1 billion mark internationally. It is another billion.
Well, yeah, it's going to be hard for anything to cross $1 billion domestically.
Oh, well, yeah, but I'm saying that is the record. So congratulations to Ryan Coogler and family for that milestone.
Yes. Congratulations to everyone who worked on the Black Panther for that.
Still kicking butt. Not quick kicking as much butt. Number two, debuting at number two this week is A Wrinkle in Time, debuting to $33 million, which sounds low, but when you consider how movies have been doing this year that aren't Black Panther, it's actually a pretty good debut.
Yeah, it's the third highest, I think, of the year so far.
If it wasn't for Disney kind of, having their own movie kind of take up the spotlight.
That being said, this is also a Disney film.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
That's literally what I meant by that sentence, is that they're kind of cannibalizing their own box office here, unfortunately. I don't know if they figured that Black Panther would have the legs to get to the 4th week.
Well, like I said last week, I think they were kind of hoping on riding that Black Panther wave.
Yeah.
A little bit with the kids.
I think for the most part, it looks like they are. Like I said, 33 is not a bad number at all. But the thing I didn't predict, and the potential of me being wrong here, word of mouth has not been positive.
No.
People don't like this movie.
I have some thoughts about that.
Yes, and you have some thoughts, but
we'll get that into it in a quick minute. But let's finish up the...
Yeah, we might as well finish up this list here. Number 3 is also debut. The Strangers Pray at Night debuts at number 3 with $10 million. Which I'm not really sure what that is. We didn't talk about this last week.
Yeah, we did. That was the horror, people in the cabin.
Oh, right.
In the woods.
That thing.
You don't let the stranger in.
Yeah, that shows how memorable that concept was, because I totally forgot about it. Number 4, moving down a notch from last week, Red Sparrow with $8 million.
Yep.
Game Night rounds out your top 5. Still hanging in there with $7 million more. So, next week, real quick. Your releases for this weekend are I Can Only Imagine, which is
I thought you were
that movie about
the song.
The guy who wrote I Can Only Imagine, the Christian rock dude.
Yes, this is your God's
your Christian rock movie.
Yes, it's your God movie coming out 2 weeks before Easter. Also, it's just a quick reminder, it will be St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Yeah.
So, plan accordingly.
Yeah. Next up, Love, Simon.
Simon.
Yes, Love, Simon.
Love,
which is
Simon.
Your
I'm gay. I'm a gay
high
kid.
School movie.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
Right. I may like boys, but I don't know if I like boys, so I may not come out until I'm sure I want to come out.
Yeah, it's neat that they're making these.
It's based off a book, I think. So
I would assume. And then lastly, Alicia Vikander in Tomb Raider.
Yes, Sony's big video game adaptation.
That isn't Jumanji.
Yes.
So yeah, that's probably your big one this week. I don't know whether it can make enough to beat Black Panther for week 5.
Let's see. Assuming Black Panther takes another 50% at 15.
Okay, maybe
Alicia's got to hit 20.
All right. So Tomb Raider, let's pick that.
Tomb Raider has
probably
hit 20.
your number 1,
if
unless
Tomb
something
Raider
terrible
doesn't
happens.
hit 20, that is
depressing.
It is Leprechaun Day.
Leprechaun Day.
Leprechaun Day.
I don't think that prohibits anybody from seeing movies, nor does it encourage them. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Par for the course, really. All right. Next up, you saw A Wrinkle in Time.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about what's your thoughts about A Wrinkle in Time?
So I saw A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah.
And this movie is good because Andrew really knows how to make a good movie.
Okay.
But
it
lacks because of the source material.
What? That doesn't make any sense. People love that book.
Do they?
Yes.
It's
a lot of people who really love that book.
It's a children's book, so the movie is geared towards kids.
Sure.
Which makes sense because I was watching, it's like, okay, I could like this if I was younger, but as an older moviegoer, it definitely falls into the kid trap of love conquers all, defeat the darkness type thing, which is what the book's about. And because that's what the book is, it's just it's not as engaging for most audiences.
Huh, okay.
Which I say, like, that's not anyone's fault. It's just the source material that they're working with. Because it is a very faithful and direct adaptation of the book. And everyone does a good job in it.
You just don't think it translates into a movie.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Especially,
it's hard to adapt, is what you're saying.
Right, which especially comes at the end where it just becomes a big CGI fest, where it's just two characters in a CGI room talking to each other, and that's where it really loses my interest because you want stuff to happen, but they're basically having a therapy session at the end, and it kind of ruins and distorts the entire build up. To it, but that's nothing on the way that it's created, and the way it was shot, and the movie itself. It's just like I said, the source material, because it is a 1964 book. It doesn't really hold weight anymore in today's world, I feel.
Okay. Seems like they're trying to make it as relevant as possible, but there's not really much they can do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it's definitely a good attempt at it, and it definitely, like, is faithful to the book. It's just that book is I feel kind of dated now.
Fair enough. How's the acting? Because that's something that I've heard specifically from people that was their reason for not really enjoying it.
It was fine for me. There's a little boy in there who kind of steals the show, but then goes over the top at the end.
That's also what I've heard.
Because that, again, is what the source material is.
Right. Yeah, there's a certain level of expectation there. But okay, well, if that didn't detract too much, then maybe that's not really as much of a problem as I've been told to believe.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is definitely a kids' movie geared towards kids.
Yeah.
Because kids will bypass it, they'll understand it more, or at least they'll be more engaged with it. Whereas, like, me and I went and saw it with my family, they tuned out as soon as, like, they jumped worlds, and I was like, maybe no.
Okay. Well, it sounds. Were you, like, disappointed in it then? Like, I don't really know.
I couldn't be disappointed because it was a direct adaptation. So it did exactly what it was supposed to do.
You're making this really difficult. I'm trying to find out if this is a good movie or not.
It's not enjoyable, but it is what the book is.
Fine.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Fine, how about this? Patented media boat scale. What do you put it?
If you have kids, take them to it. Otherwise, stream it.
Okay, alright.
Like, it's not...
Still doesn't really help.
It's essentially not a bad movie. It's just the source material is bad. That's what I'm trying to say.
You keep saying that, but I will not accept that answer. Because people love that book.
I'm not one of those people, though.
Alright, so
And
it's a personal thing.
No, it's not even a personal thing.
How can it not be a personal thing? You don't like the book.
It's the simple children's cop-out of love conquers all.
Anyways. Alright, you saw another movie.
Oh.
That was somehow worse.
Yeah.
This wasn't even on your box office this week.
That's how bad it was.
You saw The Hurricane Heist.
Oh my god.
Now, who steals the hurricane and why?
So, this movie is a mess to begin with. It starts off in a 1992 flashback of a hurricane with little kids, and then it immediately jumps present day, like 20 years in the future, or 25 years in the future, and then you immediately don't know who the kids grow up to be because they don't say until you realize it like another 20 minutes into the movie. There's a big hurricane coming to hit the shores of Alabama. Hurricane Alexander, which I don't believe because they list hurricanes in alphabetical order, that the first hurricane would hit Alabama. It usually hits in Florida or just stays off the coast. So immediately there I was suspicious. But then secondly, the two boys that they grow up, eventually they grow up, aren't even a part of the heist. So why start with them? The whole heist is basically the same plot line of Den of Thieves, where the guys are trying to get the money before it gets shredded. Ooh. Except Den of Thieves did this thing a whole lot better because it actually followed the criminals and followed what the heist was.
You cared more about it.
And I cared more about it, whereas the Hurricane Heist was basically, this heist is going on, and also these brothers are trying to rekindle their brotherhood, but they get dragged into the heist because one of them is essential, one of them is the maintenance guy to the facility, so they bring him in to open up the vault door. And so the other brother gets dragged into it to save his brother before the hurricane hits. And then they're driving, and then the whole heist thing happens, and then as they're driving away, they're driving away while in the eye of a hurricane. So they're trying to escape, or trying to stay within the eye while the hurricane's going around. And then at the very end of the movie, they somehow outrun the hurricane, and yet it becomes clear skies. The hurricane just disappeared while they were in the middle. And I was like, no!
They ran out of money or something.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't animate that hurricane.
Basically, this entire film, I was going, nope, 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 nuh-uh, nice try, nope.
Not accepting any of this.
Oh, no. Whereas with the other things, at least could like have a suspension of belief and like care about what happened. Whereas this is just me sitting there going, nah. It was just, it's a terrible movie. Like, it's not even like Sharknado, so bad it's good. It's just bad to a point where about 5 minutes into it, I was like, nah, I just kind of want to leave now. Okay, can I change the channel here? This is just a bad movie from the start.
We do something else?
Yeah.
That's
what I should have done. Should have just got saw something else.
I mean, you're telling the people here, you're letting the people know that you do not need to spend money on the Hurricane Heist.
You don't need to spend money. You don't need to stream this. Basically, this is going to be a gas station dollar find. And you'll be like, what was this? Was this thing even released? It's that type of movie. I can't even tell you who was in it. It was that bad. I can't tell you who directed it. It was just a terrible, terrible waste of a film. I want my money back. I kind of want to write to whoever created this thing that I want my money back. That it's just that bad. Which is funny because I used MoviePass, so technically it doesn't cost me anything. But I feel like I want something back from the film. It's just that bad.
Well, too bad.
I know.
First of all. So I'm guessing on the patented media boat scale, you were saying completely skip it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely don't even bother.
Yes.
All right. So
well, this movie probably will come back around for worst movie of the year.
I mean, yes, but we'll get up there when we get there.
Yes.
All right.
You also saw a movie.
Did I?
Yeah. You caught up on Creed too.
Yeah, it's old. We watched Creed. You had already seen it.
Yes.
I hadn't. That's a really good movie. But that's all I'll say because we really shouldn't dwell on it.
Yeah.
Old news.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. So let's move into movie news. Our first story for the day has to do with something you might remember from the Academy Awards. When Frances McDormand won her Academy Award, she gave a speech hyping up the women in the audience. And specifically ended it with talking about
2 words.
Inclusion writers. Now,
yes,
you are Mr. Movie Industry. Tell me what your understanding of an inclusion writer is.
Oh, I wrote that down actually.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yes, you did.
Yes.
Because I was hoping you'd just know. But all right.
Oh, yeah.
I vaguely know, but I didn't want to get the details wrong.
So a writer is something that a company or an
Right.
actor has already pre-planned. To where it's basically a list of demands in order to perform.
So in this case, an inclusion writer is basically the guarantee that 50% of the cast and crew have to be diverse, and by that they mean, of course, not white men. You have to include women, minorities, LGBT people, etc. So, following the speech where Frances McDormand shouted this out, Pearl Street Films and Outlier Society Productions have both announced they will adopt the agreement in all their future production deals. So, if you're wondering who are involved in these studios, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are the producing partners for Pearl Street Films, and our very own Media Boat favorite Michael B. Jordan is involved in Outlier Society Productions.
That explains the picture.
Company.
Yes, that explains the picture I chose.
Yes, so that's why Michael B. Jordan is looking at you right now. Anime lover extraordinaire, Michael B. Jordan.
Yes.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm glad companies are getting in front of this. But yeah, if you're a high-profile actor, you can do this too. That's the cool thing about this is that you can guarantee that everybody gets a chance in your movies. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next story.
This is about a movie that's coming up.
Let's talk about another Media Boat favorite, Elton John. We've talked about Elton John a lot for some reason on this podcast. I'm not really sure why. He comes up a lot.
Yes, it's not necessarily about Elton John. It's just stuff that Elton John keeps doing.
So yeah, Elton John, of course, one of his famous songs is "Rocket Man."
Not to be confused
with a couple things. Not to be confused with our president's nickname for Kim Jong-un.
Which you will say to his face briefly.
Also, not to be confused with the Disney film Rocket Man, which is unrelated.
Yeah.
However, there is a new film involving the song and Rocket Man and Elton John, starring none other than Taron Egerton, Mr. Kingsman himself.
Yes.
He will be portraying the legendary singer in the next film, Rocket Man, which will follow Elton John's early rise to stardom through to his recovery from drug and alcohol addiction in the 1990s.
Right. And so they've already started some pre-production on this, including recording some songs, to which Sir Elton John has already heard.
So yeah, according to the movie's producer and Elton's husband, David Furnish, says that Elton was blown away by Egerton's take when he heard 3 songs he recorded recently at Abbey Road Studios. He told Egerton to not get into thinking they have to do an impersonation and not to perform or sing exactly like Elton did.
Well, who can?
That's a good point. Egerton had already covered his song "I'm Still Standing" for the animated film Sing.
Yeah.
He was the voice of the
gorilla.
The gorilla, the singing gorilla.
Yeah,
he's already proved it.
Yeah, he did "I'm Still Standing" for the closing song in the big competition.
I think this is smart because not only does he sound like him, but he also looks like him, especially with those glasses.
Which is funny because both of them actually appeared in Kingsman 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, you told me about the Elton John scene.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that's a good idea. I think that's great casting. So that'll be an interesting movie to watch. Next up.
Yeah, I like Joel Edgerton as an actor.
He's a cool guy.
He's cool. Yeah.
Taron.
Joel
Edgerton is a different.
Yes, Joel. Yes. Taron Egerton and Joel Edgerton.
Yeah,
they're two different people. Yes. Anyways,
don't get those two mixed up.
Anyways,
next up, I've got an HBO show coming back in the form of a movie prequel.
Yes.
Guess that HBO show.
Well, I know the HBO show.
Oh, yeah, I know. This is no fun.
It's The Sopranos.
Yep, so New Line has purchased the screenplay called The Many Saints of Newark, which is the working title for a future prequel of The Sopranos that is set in the era of the Newark riots in the 1960s. Quite a bit of a step back. The script was written by series creator David Chase and features Tony Soprano's father, his wife Livia, and his uncle Junior. The Sopranos, of course, won 21 Primetime Emmys, 5 Golden Globes, and a Peabody for its 2 first seasons.
The Peabody was for its first 2 seasons.
Okay.
Yes, now they didn't win all those awards
in the first 2 seasons.
Because that'd be like sweeping everything.
But yeah, I mean, a prequel is an interesting take on this because.
Chase?
David Chase.
David Chase chose this specific era because it was a time when both the Italians and the African Americans and the police were all at a very high tension between each other, so it makes for excellent drama.
And I feel like, unfortunately, a lot of that cast is dead.
You're talking about James Gandolfini,
yeah.
Of course. Except that's why it's a prequel, not a sequel.
Right. So that's kind of my point.
So James Gandolfini doesn't have to appear.
Yeah.
Just the kid form of him at some point, probably.
Kind of sad though when you think about it. It's like the dude.
Yeah, the dude who made
the star of that show can't be in this, but I'm sure it will be in memory of him.
Yes.
But yeah, that's a neat idea. We'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, I mean, the Sex and the City did well for HBO. And
they made 2 of them.
Yeah.
They made 2 of those.
And then they also did the Entourage movie, too.
Yeah, let's forget about the Entourage movie. Moving on. Our last story in movies has to do with our favorite MoviePass.
Yes. The thing I abuse on a regular basis.
It's true. In a recent speech, MoviePass CEO Mitch Lowe said that the app would be able to track people's habits before and after they check in as a way to market in the future. Well, people didn't like that idea too much. They were upset about the idea that an app would be monitoring them without necessarily opting in. He has since sent out an email to all their subscribers and did an interview to set the record straight that they only locate customers when they use the app and it doesn't run in the background. Also, they made a new update to the iOS app that gives users the ability to turn off the tracking ability at all. What Lowe meant is that in the future, they would be able to give customers recommendations of what to do before or after seeing a movie, and receive special offers from nearby restaurants.
Yeah, I can see where he was going with this during his speech. I actually listened to his speech. And it definitely sounded like, MoviePass will essentially become a night out app where you can get dinner and then at a discounted rate and then go to the movies, or vice versa, go get ice cream afterwards. Because it uses a location-based service, that it'll locate you going to where you go from the movies before and after. But, in this day and age where everything tracks everything, people were kind of worried, like, well, I just want you to know when I see movies. Like, not necessarily, like, give me ads and, like, do all this extra marketing, which is, kind of the purpose when the Helios company helped with all that influx of money to make MoviePass so cheap, because it is a data mining company. So it makes sense that they would track all of this. It's just, he was overly excited that we're going to track you and do everything. We're going to make this very simple for you. And people were like, whoa, 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 whoa. One step at a time, dude.
I mean, yeah, I think it's less about him or the statement that he made and more about just the app culture right now.
Yeah.
Is that we're terrified of, like, these things basically watching our every move.
Well, because we already have Facebook, like, monitoring our web activity and then giving us ads to what we just went to.
Yeah. It's not great already. Yeah. So, yeah, we didn't another log on that fire didn't sound great. But I see what he's coming from, and yeah, you're right. I think kind of like a one-stop shop for a date night kind of thing would be a nice addition to it.
Yeah, but plus it also gives MoviePass a chance to work outside of the movie industry and with restaurants too.
Yeah, that's true.
And offering discounts or ad placements.
Lucrative co-marketing deals. Yep. That's what it's all about. All right.
Moving on.
That does it for movies. Let's start with television. And first up, of course, is our sports corner. And the hot sports story right now is, of course, March Madness.
Oh, I'm getting mad.
Are you mad? How mad are you?
Oh, actually, I'm happy because Syracuse just won, which is my bracket.
So, yeah, the brackets have been set.
Yes.
The tournament is underway. We have our first four happening right now.
Yes, it's called the first four because they're the first four teams played to determine the last two seeds.
Okay.
So they played tonight. The tournament begins tomorrow, Thursday, and going through this weekend for the first and second round.
So tune into that if you have your brackets and you want to see how well you do. In the meantime, professional sports also have some craziness going on, notably the NFL.
Yes. I have...
But real quick. We have news from the front.
Well, yes, but also my team for March Madness winning is the Tennessee Volunteers. They're a third seed, but they have impeccable defense, and defense wins championships, so that's why I picked them.
Also, that's a great name.
The Tennessee Volunteers?
They volunteer.
Oh, yeah.
They volunteer as tribute.
Yes, they volunteer for madness. But yes, also, Doctor is saying that I feel like I don't even need to have to look us up anymore. For Facebook to know what I like. They can read my mind.
It's true.
Yes.
Like, it's getting to the point where I'll look at something on my phone and forget it's attached to my Chrome, like Google account, like where my Chrome is. So I'll come back home, I'll be on my laptop, and all of a sudden I'll get ads catered to what I was looking at on my phone earlier. I'm like, how does it know I was on data? And then I remember, oh, right, Google.
Yeah.
It's remembering everything I do.
Yes, I bought a waffle iron recently, and then all of a sudden I got inundated with other waffle-related products. It's like, I just wanted the one thing.
Yeah.
And then, like, when I went to I looked up stuff on the NBA store. They just started giving me a bunch of jersey options.
Yeah, look at all these jerseys. You like jerseys, right?
Yeah.
All right, so as I was saying, professional sports are getting in on the madness too. Notably the NFL. It's free agent frenzy I've written down here.
Yes. A lot of, as of today at noon, I want to say, if your contract expired with the Goer current team, then you were considered a free agent. And people got paid.
Got paid?
Yep. So, I don't want to get too much into it, but just real briefly, Case Keenum is now a Denver Bronco.
Yes, I heard. But that's not the craziest mix-up.
No.
What was the big one this week?
Aqib Talib going to the Rams.
That's not it either. Keep going.
Richard Sherman.
Yes, that was it.
That's what it was.
That was the one people were talking about.
Yes, leaving Seattle to stay within the division to go to the 49ers.
49ers.
Yep.
So yeah, moves are happening.
Yeah, so be sure to check your favorite team's roster because they may have let some players go.
Yep, double check before you get too excited for the new season.
Yep, and all these moves are being made prior to the draft, which is at the end of April. So even though people are free agents now, they still could get picked up before the season starts, because depending on who people draft and what positions they still need to fill.
Well, cool. So look into that if you are into the footballs. Any other sports stories before we move on?
No.
What else is going on in the world of sports?
Hockey's being hockey, but basketball's being basketball.
Yep.
Spring training's still going on.
Yep. When does the baseball season start proper?
April.
April
10th. Second week of April.
Okay, so you got a little less than a month.
Yeah, which means that teams should be coming back to their home state within the next couple weeks, I want to say.
Cool.
To their home stadiums to continue training and then do a couple exhibitions before basically just ending spring training.
Great. All right, let's move into television news. Now, our first story is not necessarily television news, but is related to a star of television, one of our favorite shows, in fact, Mr. Terry Crews, who is still on one of the better comedies on TV right now, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Nine-Nine. So his story, however, is not as fun as that show. This is a follow-up story after we had reported that Terry Crews had filed a sexual assault complaint with the LAPD over WME agent Adam Vennett. So prosecutors have determined they will not file charges against Vennett.
And there's actually a reason for it. Like, for people get all up in arms about it, there's actually a legit reason.
And that reason is, before you start defending the police, that reason is a dumb reason. We'll get to that in a second. The city's, the case was referred to the DA's office, which was referred to the city's attorney's office for misdemeanor filing consideration. The city's attorney's office determined that the alleged incident exceeded the 1-year statute of limitations, and the matter was declined since it happened in February 2016. Now let's real briefly talk about statute of limitations.
It is different in every state.
It's different in every state, and also, this is the thing that has plagued sexual assault cases for, ever. It's always been a problem. They always have super arcane rules about when the statute of limitations is, which makes it even harder for people to come out, especially if it's an event that happened a while ago. So this is just another example of that working against the victim. And
right, but then you also ask, well, why didn't they come out sooner? And a lot of it is
super hard.
Yeah,
that's why.
It's embarrassing. It becomes public news, and there's just a lot of factors that go into the psyche of, first of all, even admitting that it happened.
Yeah, it's a terrifying thing to have to say, to dredge up. I'm not on board with this. Unfortunately, Terry Crews doesn't have too many more options beyond what he tried, and so it's just a bad situation all over. But I guess my message is for all you local politicians out there, hey, that's not a bad ticket to run on if you want to try to change things. Maybe try to change the laws regarding statute of limitations when it comes to sexual assault cases. Just a tip.
Well, it'd be funny to see someone trying to argue against that too.
Yeah, but it sucks. All right, let's move on.
Yep.
Our second story involves a movie franchise. A famous one at that. Star Wars. Now, we've been talking for years. Not even years, decades. About a proper Star Wars television series. Yes, we've gotten your animated.
I was saying we have gotten a proper.
We've gotten your animated ones, but
yes, we have
that's
Star
not
Wars
what I'm talking about here.
We have Star Wars Rebels. We have Star Wars Lego. We have Star Wars everything.
But guess what? It's finally happening. A live-action Star Wars series is in the hopper. And guess who's going to executive produce and write it?
The same guy I said who should direct episode 9.
Well, you were close. Jon Favreau, the man with the CG jungle himself.
The CG animals.
The CG animal man. He has been tapped to do just that. Currently, there's no word on when this will take place or when it will release. But Favreau is well secure in the Disney machine. I mean, he's had roles in both Star Wars, Clone Wars, animated series, and can be seen in Solo, a Star Wars story this December. So
May.
That's right.
Memorial Weekend.
I keep forgetting it's a summer movie.
Yeah, it's a Memorial Day release.
Usually these Star Wars movies coming out at the end of the year.
I know.
But yeah, I think this is a good pick.
Yeah.
I think he knows what he's doing.
Yep, yeah, he definitely has a good eye in terms of being cinematic adventures. He definitely knows how to tell a good story. A lot of his films are very character-driven, even though they are, of course, CGI-heavy. They are, at the core, character stories. And I like Jon Favreau not only as an actor, but also as a director. And like I said before, he was one of my picks to, when Rian Johnson said he wasn't going to direct episode 9, that they should just tap him. But I know he was busy with Lion King. He's doing Lion King.
Yeah, they had to wait.
Yep. So probably as soon as he's done with Lion King, he's going to start on this.
I bet.
So, wait, Lion King's coming out next year, 2019?
No, I want to... Yes. I think you're right.
Yeah, so, and then this is being released, or the Disney streaming app is being released in 2019, end of 2019. So look at this to be a 2020 release, probably.
Makes sense. By that time, it'll be ready for the Disney streaming service.
Yep.
All right.
So that's where it's going to premiere.
To our next story. Would you watch? Tell me. Now we recently watched a John Oliver bit about an NRA television channel.
And we talked last week.
We talked also about the NRA,
television
channel. What if I told you that you could watch a 24-hour network all about Scientology?
You mean I can go to church without leaving my house?
Yes, church. Let's call it that. Yes, a 24-hour network for Scientology has been launched on DirecTV, Apple, Roku, Amazon Fire, Google Chromecast, pretty much anywhere you can get a streaming television channel. The network will feature original series, such as Meeting Scientologist, Voices for Humanity, and L. Ron Hubbard, in his own voice.
L. Ron Hubbard's colon?
Yes, in his own voice. Super weird. It will also offer a selection of quote, Scientology principles, unquote, which explain the basic Scientology technology.
So, this is dumb.
So, would you watch this?
No, but this is dumb.
Would you watch this to laugh at
it? No, because some people actually believe this.
Yeah, it's true.
So, as much as, I would want to laugh at it, it's some people actually believe it. So, it's
it's depressing.
Yeah.
This is seen as a direct result of all that bad press the Scientology has gotten recently.
What bad press?
Most recently, Leah Remini's book and A&E series, Scientology and the Aftermath, and the HBO documentary Going Clear, Scientology and the Prison of Belief, both which have hit in kind of a 1-2 punch over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So, you're looking at a little bit of a bad... environment for Scientology right now, but kind of earned.
I want to say, didn't Tom Cruise just leave Scientology?
No, he's still in it. Tom Cruise is still very much in it. It was his ex, Katie Holmes, that got out pretty much as soon as they were done.
Yeah.
And Leah Remini, of course,
right.
who's most famous now for being the person who was like, hey, I survived. Let me tell you how messed up this stuff is.
Oh, see, I thought she was most famous for trying to be in love with Kevin James.
And now is also in love with Kevin James again. Yeah. So that's the thing. Yeah. So check that out if you like to hate yourself.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get drunk and laugh at it and then cry because it's also a thing that exists.
Yeah.
So that's a way you can spend St. Patrick's Day.
All right, next up, something a lot better. Some happy news here.
Apple
news
TV!
Straight from Apple. Your friends in Silicon Valley who make those super expensive things. Apple is, of course, still trying to make their TV service as popular as possible. This is kind of their Apple. I don't even know how they brand it. You have Apple TV, but that's not the right branding.
I know. I think it's just
Apple TV is the set-tops box.
I know it's in iTunes. It's like the Apple Cloud.
I wish they had a better name for it.
I don't know what to call it because I think it's still iTunes. Apple. It's not Apple Music.
It's under the Apple Music banner, I think, still. But it's streaming video content. Because I remember when they did the carpool karaoke thing, it was still like under the Apple Music banner.
Well, yeah, that's why I put the TV. That's why it's a TV set box.
Well, whatever the hell they call it, Apple is trying to get streaming stuff happen, but they're making deals. The first of which is is 2 seasons of a straight to series animated musical comedy. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Called Central Park, from none other than Bob's Burger creator Lauren Bouchard. As along with Nora Smith and Josh Gad. The series tells of how a family of caretakers who live and work in Central Park end up saving the park and the world. The cast includes Josh Gad, Leslie Odom Jr. from Hamilton, Titus Burgess, Kristen Bell, Stanley Tucci, Tucci Gang, and David Diggs, and also Catherine Hahn. This joins a long list of recent Apple orders, including an entitled thriller from M. Night Shyamalan. That's exciting.
Yeah, this is the part that I didn't know was happening. Is all the stuff that Apple's bought and is currently like in the process.
Yeah, that's not it. A Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon morning news drama.
Yeah.
A mystery series from La La Land's Damien Chazelle.
Yeah.
All right. Steven Spielberg anthology, and a comedy starring Kristen Wiig, as well as a Ron Moore space drama. So that's a lot.
Yes, Ron Moore is the same guy who did Battlestar Galactica.
Well, they better come up with a snappy name for this thing soon, because otherwise, no one will care.
Well, yeah.
It's like, is it on Apple? Like, what? Tell me what's on. Like, how do I get this?
Well, also, if you start up your Apple TV, like, where's it gonna be?
Yeah.
Is it just something you like, a specific channel? Is it something you download? Is it you have to buy it off iTunes and then stream it?
I think it's through iTunes, I want to say.
That's such a dumb idea, though.
I don't know, though, because they're not making it that
I know,
clear.
but it's such a dumb idea.
I don't know.
I know.
We'll see. They have to come up with a name for it.
I know. Alright, ClickShot. Come up with another name for it. Not like, so I guess it can't be Apple TV.
Apple.
It can't be Apple Watch.
You're right. Apple Watch is the thing. Apple Screen. No, that's too similar to Yahoo Screened.
Apple Stream?
Apple Stream. No.
Apple Sauce.
The sauce.
Your sauce for all your
See, this is why we don't work for Apple. This is why we're not millionaires.
Wait, you say this is why I can't be an ad exec?
That's why.
Because
give a name. All right, that's it for television news. Next up, we have... Well, actually, before we go into cancellations and renewals, do you have any thoughts?
I have a couple of thoughts. I watched a couple of stuff on TV.
What have you been watching?
So, I watched The Push.
What's The Push?
The Push is this.
Yes, I know. But also, what's The Push?
It's literally that.
Okay, what's The Push?
It's literally pushing someone off a building.
Is this like ABC's The Slap?
No. So it's
Do you remember ABC's The Slap?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a Netflix... well, I don't say this. This is a BBC special that is now on Netflix. Right. It's a 1 hour thing show. It's a 1 hour show about...
That 1 hour thing show?
Yeah. It's about, can you manipulate someone enough to make them push someone off a building?
Yes. I want to bet you can.
That's funny enough you say that, because that's the whole premise of the of the show is...
Sounds like it.
Is trying to manipulate someone into pushing someone off a building.
Okay.
It's definitely a really good insight into manipulating people, into just how the mind works and how easy it is to get roped into like a rabbit hole of bad decisions.
Uh-oh. And
ultimately just, like what it takes to make you push someone off the building to kill them. I won't spoil how it goes because it's just an hour. It's an hour long. It's an easy watch. and definitely worth checking out. But yeah, I had fun watching it, which is weird.
Okay.
But yeah, it is definitely it's fun.
They don't have to push you into watching it?
Oh no, I'm trying to push other people into watching it.
Alright, what else did you watch?
So I had the season 2 finale of This Is Us. And I cried.
Of course.
Because that's what that show does.
Did you watch the after show? That was them?
No.
This is the part of the Sterling K. Brown's bit on SNL last week.
This Is Us, and that was
the follow-up show. That was them.
Yeah. But
anyways,
season 2 overall, well done. We finally found out how the dad died. We finally got to the wedding. We got to go through rehab and all this thing, and it's definitely a good show. It definitely also the final episode also leaves you off with some hope for the future about where it's gonna go. This thing is definitely gonna stick around for a while. It's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Okay. What else?
Let's see. What else did I watch? Oh, I watched Rise.
Oh, you set your DVRs.
I set my DVR to watch Rise.
I'm sorry. Every single time we saw an ad for it on NBC, it was always, set your DVRs for Rise. Like they didn't expect anybody to actually watch it.
Yeah. Well, no, it actually did that because the season finale, because it appeared right after the season finale of This Is Us. So, because the season finale intentionally went longer than what it said it was.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they said...
Set your DVRs for, because you're going to miss it if you try to tune in live.
Yeah, because we're going to cut it short for you.
Yeah.
And you're going to be left wondering, what?
Fair enough. So, how was Rise? How was Josh Radnor's return to television?
Rise has a lot of problems. And they're good problems to have. But it's also problematic when there's a lot of TV to watch. Because, so Rise is about a small town high school, and the English teacher decides to take over the school play, and instead of doing Grease, they decide to do Spring Awakening.
Oh boy.
Matt, what is Spring Awakening?
It's a musical that musical theater dorks really, really love.
Do you know, some of the subject material?
No, I don't.
Well, they include boy-on-boy kissing, abortion,
all right,
sexual love triangle.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, all set in Germany or something.
Germany?
I think so.
All right.
But yeah, so imagine trying to have this these high schoolers perform this obviously adult-themed play, and people are not for it. Peoples are peoples who are not for it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So that's just the pilot.
Huh.
Eventually they're like, yeah, we're going to do it. Yeah, we're going to make this kind of like High School Musical. We're going to get the star athlete to come join our play. But the thing about this is that everyone has problems.
Well, yeah, because you have to, or else it wouldn't be a show.
Oh, no. Everyone has problems.
Every single person.
Every single character. Even the characters you meet on screen for maybe 2 minutes have they basically say oh, this is what's wrong with this person. 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 Just everyone has problems.
Sounds really piloty.
Oh, super piloty.
Yeah.
And it's made from the same people who did Friday Night Lights and Parenthood, which both of those shows, everyone had problems in those shows.
But people love those shows.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least, from what I understand about Friday Night Lights, people really liked the first 3 seasons of that.
Oh, yeah. Also, it's also what introduced me to my favorite actor, Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan!
Yeah.
We've gone full circle. Look at that. We did it.
That's it.
So, yeah, will you be watching more of Rise?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. It's on the thing, on my list of, if I have time to watch it, I'll watch it. Put it, sure, I'll keep it recorded. I'll keep it there.
Yeah.
But will I look forward to watching it?
No.
I don't know. Olivia Carvalho's good in it. I like her.
Okay, good.
But yeah, it's just everyone else is y'all have so much problems. Just solve your problems. It would be so much easier if you could just
Yes.
if you could
just
tell
solve their problems. That's why they're gonna go and do that.
Just go tell you just talk the truth. Stop trying to play these high school mind games.
They're high schoolers. That's what they do.
You high schoolers trying to play high school mind games with each other.
It's literally what they do. They're high schoolers.
I know.
All right. Let's move on. Anything else before we move on to cancellations and renewals?
Yes, I watched 2 new pilots.
All right. What else?
So, I watched Deception.
Were you deceived?
No, but I did enjoy it. It was a fun adventure. It's a fun TV show. It's basically a magician helps the FBI track down another illusionist who is putting up elaborate schemes to help an underground organization by performing magic tricks and eluding the criminals.
Yep.
Eluding the FBI. It's fun. It reminds me a lot of Eyes, when that used to be on ABC.
Yeah.
Way back then. It's a fun show. There's definitely very lighthearted humor in it. Nothing in that show is to be taken seriously at all.
So it's the opposite of Rise.
Oh, completely opposite of Rise.
So you found 2 polar opposite shows.
Yeah, but at least with this one, it was enjoyable. I'd give it maybe a season.
Yeah, I didn't think that concept would last very long.
It doesn't seem like the concept's going to last very long, especially when you have to reveal a new trick every single episode. Like, oh, we're going to do this trick, and this is how we did it. This is how magicians do it. So, yeah, I expect things to last a season. If it finds an audience, maybe 2, but nothing past 50 episodes.
Fair. And then lastly, you have something else that you watched.
Oh,
something called For the People.
Yes, for the people, by the people, of the people, sir.
Uh-huh.
No. So this is the new law drama from the creator of Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder.
Oh, Scandal.
Yes. Not the creator, but the writers.
Okay.
Because Shonda Rhimes. Shonda Rhimes did those?
Yes.
Yeah, she's at Netflix now.
Right.
Yeah. So this is all those writers that worked under her who banded together to create For the People, which is about 6 young, beautiful-looking, up-and-coming lawyers. 3 of them...
Apparently I'm allergic to that.
I know. 3 of them work for the DA's office. 3 of them work for the state.
The state?
Yeah. So
like
basically...
comedy troupe?
No, the state of New York.
Oh, okay.
So basically, every court case is the state of New York versus this person we have to give you a lawyer for because you're entitled to a lawyer.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's reminds me a lot of the other ABC show about a bunch of good-looking people. You know what I'm talking about.
Which would be...
The FBI one.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, whatever the hell that show is called.
Not Langley. CIA, FBI. Conspiracy theory.
Oh, the one you love.
Yes.
And you can't think of the name of it. Quantico.
Quantico.
It's like Quantico.
Yes.
All right. Where everyone's way too attractive.
Yes, everyone's way too attractive and everyone's way too smart to be with each other. And yet they all, still have problems with each other.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's like Quantico.
All right. Well, it sounds less piloty, but...
I kind of, at one point, after all the characters briefly met and did their, whole introductions, I stopped to see what the time was, because it's a great opening 10 minutes.
Oh, good. You
immediately understand every character, everyone has a brief interaction with each other, and you can tell, okay, you're this type of person, you're this type of person, you're this type of person, this type of person, you're just an instant understanding of who these characters are based on the first 10 minutes of first interactions with each other. And it's really refreshing to see a pilot done well and to see something like this as a show. I guess because it is, of course, a law show, the thing can run forever. But from just the pilot itself, it has me on board.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay,
cool. Those are a lot of television shows.
And I watched one more show.
We're missing one.
Yes. I have a weird fascination with Australian TV.
Oh, shoot. Okay, yes. Well, there's another one after this then.
Wait, there's another one after
this?
Oh, yes.
Your piece.
Yes, I know which one you're talking about now.
We have to talk about it.
Okay, we have to talk about it. Yeah, I have a weird fascination with the Australian shows. So I watched two things that are on Netflix right now for us. Cheapest Weddings and Big Cuisine, I think is what it was called.
Big Cuisine.
Cheapest Weddings is what it sounds like. Just people making weddings on a budget, and in some cases actually making money on weddings because like they eventually sell all the stuff that they used and turn a profit for some weird reason. And just the way people go to, just the lengths people will go to save money, like iron their own linens, reuse old stuff, go to Goodwill and buy cheap glasses.
Yeah. It's like, how cheap can it be?
Yeah. Like one person just did a potluck at the back of their ranch.
Oh my god.
After they got married at the courthouse.
Wow. Well, that's one way to save money.
I know. It's fascinating to me.
Now, you mentioned something about how you notice there's a difference in production when it comes to Australian shows, is that the pace is super quick.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they just do not slow down for anything.
No. There's no slowdown. There's no lingering. There's no, like suspended drama. It's just go, 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 go. Almost as if, like, they recorded so much stuff that they're trying to pack it in. But they don't. They probably record the exact same amount. But because they don't waste any time trying to create artificial drama, it just feels so fast, and I enjoy it, which is probably why I enjoy it so much, because it cuts through all the TV BS that the Americans TV shows and real life shows try and create, and just cuts straight to, we know why you're watching this. This is why you're watching us. We're going to basically give you exactly what you want and not fluff it up.
Yeah. It seems to be a thing over there. I'm not really sure what the difference is, but...
So that other show, I forget what it's called now, but basically it takes 24 hours. It's a TV crew that goes 24 hours in a
kitchen?
A kitchen. But not just like any kitchen. High profile, like, have to be running 24-hour kitchens. Like, they did a cruise ship. They did SeaWorld in Orlando. They did a hotel in Dubai. In Dubai, like, during, like, Ramadan or something. Like, some religious event where, like, people, like, had to follow a strict diet in order to cook the food. People, like, they had to have, like, specific meals prepped. And then just, like, they also did one for an Airbus. It's just really, and then, like a 2-story restaurant attached to part of a hotel. And it's just really fascinating. Just not only like how much food, like just those like places that they go through, but then multiply that by everywhere else. It's just mind-boggling, the same amount of food and the same amount of production value that goes into creating not just a basic meal.
Yeah.
But just a meal for everyone and everything. It's quite insane and definitely worth a watch if you just want to like have that like mind-blowing experience.
Yeah. Yeah, when I walked in, they were doing something about like those Shamu ice cream things.
Yeah.
For the SeaWorld.
Yeah, that's the SeaWorld.
Yeah, it looks fun. It looked like a fun little show. So those are on Netflix, you said?
Yeah, both of those are on Netflix. Okay. And so we so one more thing.
Yes, we've been watching the comeback season of American Idol. It's back, fellas. So this is the ABC 10th season. So they're basically continuing the numbering from the Fox seasons. So this is season 10, according to the show itself.
No.
And it's picking up pretty much where it left off. Format-wise, they don't seem to have changed that much. They have changed kind of the format of how they're doing the auditions. They've squished the auditions into, I think, less episodes. So it's not like, oh, this week it's in Los Angeles, or this week it's in New York. It's more like, here's clips from pretty much everywhere. So that's good. And the brand new judges, let's put it this way, they're bizarre.
Matt, this is not season 10.
That's what it says on the DVR.
This is season 16.
But that's not true. That cannot be possible. Because we've gone several years without it being on.
Season 15 was in 2006. Sorry, 2016.
Wait, that's not true. Is this really season 16?
Yeah.
The DVR is calling it season 10. Why?
I'm going to find this.
How is that possible? Because there can't be 16 seasons.
Yeah?
I don't think.
Man, if it ran until 2016...
It did not, though. Did it?
Yes, it did.
Did it?
If it ran until 2016, that's 15 seasons.
That seems wrong.
No.
I thought it got canceled a long time ago.
2016.
It's not a long time ago.
April 7th, 2016.
Oh, weird. Alright, well, the DVR is wrong. I don't know where it's getting that number.
Wait, why do you think it's season 10?
Because the DVR keeps calling it season 10.
No.
That's what I just said.
No.
Check it out.
I'm telling you, it's not. Well, season 16.
Now it's correct.
Season 16. Season
Weird.
16.
Oh,
I
well.
don't know what you were looking at. Did you confuse
Hallucinated.
101 with 10, episode 1?
No, I must have been hallucinating. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, it picks up pretty much format-wise, give or take, from that. Except that, man, are the judges weird.
I was just going to ask, what do you think of the new judges?
I don't know how I feel about that. Katy Perry, especially, is all over the place on this thing.
And all over some of the contestants,
kissing
too.
people and falling over.
And feet. Showing her feet.
Yeah, it's super weird. It's like, at least you had, like, the part about the original American Idol judges was that they were ridiculous just because they're ridiculous. Like, this, I feel like, is a little forced. I don't know. Like, the Katy Perry stuff seems like the little, like, the producers are just telling her, hey, be wackier. Do something weird here.
Do something crazy.
Yeah.
Do something crazy.
Almost as if she doesn't, they won't have that kind of element of American Idol auditions.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to when the auditions are over. Otherwise, yeah, I might stick around since I'm not watching The Voice this season. I might stick around with American Idol, see where it goes, see how this first season pans out, and see if ABC ever brings it back, because who knows.
Yeah, it costs a lot to create American Idol.
Yeah, does it?
Well, at least to create a studio.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. But yeah, so American Idol's back. We'll be watching it, and then sometime in, let's see, what's 4 months from now?
Yeah.
7, July. Sometime in July they should crown a winner.
Sometime in July. We'll know.
Yeah.
One thing, though, I am excited about this being on is that hopefully Joel McHale will make fun of it on Sunday.
Yes.
All right. So that does it for our thoughts about television series. Moving on to cancellations and renewals. First up, we have a 7-episode buy for Our Cartoon President on Showtime.
Yes.
7 more episodes will be added to that season. Canceled after the 4th season is The Librarians on TNT.
Hey, Matt, we finally got a cancellation.
I know, it's about time. So that would be the show loosely based on, I guess, the TV movie that launched that franchise, featuring Noah Wyle, formerly of ER. Yeah, I know way too much of this because my sister really liked it.
Yeah. I think it was by the same guy who did Leverage.
I think you're right.
Dean something.
So basically the most TNT show to ever exist on TNT.
Well, I think Leverage was also on TNT, but yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's canceled after 4 seasons, so say goodbye to that. The Wall on NBC gets a 3rd season, so get ready for more Chris Hardwick balls.
Congratulations, LeBron
Chris
James.
Hardwick's and LeBron James giant balls.
Yep.
Power on Stars will get a 6th season. And ABC has renewed a slew of shows, including, but not limited to, Dancing with the Stars, The Bachelor, Child Support, America's Funniest Home Videos, believe it or not.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. America's
So
Funniest
far.
Home Videos
Another season.
got renewed for another season.
It's just about YouTube now? Like, is that what that
The real
show is?
question is The Voice or American Idol?
See, I was talking while we were kind of watching the last episode of American Idol earlier. I don't know if I really like the voice as much as I thought I would.
You think there's too many gimmicks with the voice?
It's really complicated, and it's got like so many different phases that I bounce off of it pretty quickly.
Well, at least we have one fan of The Wall.
All right, somebody likes The Wall.
Yes.
All right.
I think they're just waiting for LeBron to randomly pop up because he's a producer. But...
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, we have 2 deaths we have to talk about.
Oh, yes.
The first of which, Craig Mack, age 47, rapper, and the first artist P. Diddy ever signed for Bad Boy Records. So a piece of hip-hop history right there.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
young.
it's young.
47. Yes, that's not bad. But the big death this week was an unfortunate one. Stephen Hawking.
Yes, that's Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking, famous astrophysicist, physicist in general, doctor, just smart man.
Yes, the man who was given 2 months to live and stretched that into some 47 more years or something.
Yeah, he lived a long time for someone suffering like he had. Kind of relegated to a wheelchair. Couldn't speak using his own voice. Known in pop culture for having that robot voice speak for him, and he had cameos in all sorts of things, like a great bit in The Simpsons, among like sitcoms and science specials and stuff, and movies, including, of course, some recent films.
There's a recent film about him.
His life.
Yeah, The Theory of Everything, starring Eddie Redmayne, which was his first film post winning the Oscar.
Right.
For The Danish Girl.
So yeah, definitely a loss for the science community, a loss for just people who want to learn. You know, like he was a smart guy and he wanted to share his knowledge with everyone. And he did so for generations.
Yep.
And yeah, it'll be a sad one without him.
He just seems like one of those guys who you just would live forever. And then just to say that
you just think like, oh, he's just gonna be around.
Like, oh, he was a long time ago, but now he lives forever now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just
yeah, technology couldn't keep him invincible.
Yes.
No one is invincible, but man, he was pretty close. All right, moving on to out of cancellations, renewals, and into music.
Yes, the Billboard. So
we've got.
Do we have a new top, or is God's Plan still up there?
God's Plan is still your number 1 song, the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart. So, but the rest of this chart is insane.
Matt, have you actually listened to God's Plan?
Yes. It's all right.
Okay.
It's one of the okay. It's an okay Drake song.
All right.
Not my favorite Drake song. It's fun.
Okay.
I like it. But the rest of this top 5 is kind of weird. Moving up back to number 2 is "Perfect" by Ed Sheeran. Moving up to number 3 after being lower in the previous weeks, "Finesse" by Bruno Mars and Cardi B. Moving down a notch, "Psycho" by Post Malone featuring Ty Dolla $ign is number 4, and moving up into the top 5. "Meant to Be" by BB Rexha and Florida Georgia Line.
What?
Yes, there is a BB Rexha Florida Georgia Line duet, and it's called "Meant to Be," and it's number 5 on the Billboard charts this week.
All right. Don't be surprised if you see a Taylor Swift song equivalent to that, because
there's a new video.
Yeah, she released a new single off her Reputation album.
So we'll see. But so far, those singles haven't fared very well.
No, this one may be different. I have a feeling.
Maybe. Moving on to the Billboard Albums chart, your 200. Number 1 this week for the second week in a row is, or actually no, it was down 1 last week, but back at number 1,
right,
Black Panther the album.
Petty one.
So I found out
the Bon Jovi,
and I found out why. Well, no, I didn't find out why. Or no, I did. That's right.
Yeah.
So it was his album that he put the Bon Jovi album from last year. But the reason why it charted again was because his ticket sales for his concert tour went through. And he had a deal where people got the album. And so sales spiked, and thus number 1 record. That's what it was. It's dumb. But yeah, Black Panther, the album, music from and inspired by, is back at number 1 this week followed by its other soundtrack buddy, The Greatest Showman soundtrack at
Hey,
number 2.
it's back.
Number 3, Memories Don't Lie by Tory Lanez debuts in the chart at number 3. 4, Culture 2 by Migos. And 5, Divide by Ed Sheeran moves back up into the top 5 for some inexplicable reason.
Okay.
And that is your Billboard charts.
New releases. We have a couple of actual big releases.
Yeah, we after a few weeks kind of just in the doldrums of music, we have some big albums this week.
Yeah.
First up, Bill Frisell with Music Is, Earthless with Black Heaven, Hot Snakes with Jericho Sirens, Mount Eerie with Now Only, Scotty McCreery with Seasons Change.
Yes, that's Scotty McCreery, Coronado winner.
I talk like down here because I'm a kid, but I'm also with low voice. Kid with low voice. He's not a kid anymore, actually.
No, but he still has that really deep voice.
Snoop Dogg with the wonderfully titled Bible of Love. Sorority Noise with YNAAYT.
Yes, that's Snoop Dogg, not Snoop Lion, so it's not a reggae album.
No. And lastly, The Decemberists with I'll Be Your Girl. All right, moving on to music news.
Yeah, apparently that Florida Georgia Line song is pretty awkward.
I bet. Just like Florida Georgia Line in general.
I believe I am seeing them.
Oh,
they're performing at
Stagecoach.
I believe so.
Oh man, well I guess for every Casey Musgraves, you must also get a Florida Georgia Line.
Yeah,
that's how that works. First bit in music news is unfortunately about this guy who we can't get rid of, named Eminem. Eminem's most famous song has reached a new milestone, which I'm actually shocked it took this long.
Yeah, so
Lose Yourself has recently been certified diamond by the RIAA, since it has sold 10 million units in the U.S. alone. You want to hear some songs that beat Lose Yourself to diamond status?
This was hilarious, but yes, somehow Meghan Trainor has a diamond status album or song.
So yeah, quick fact: less than 20 songs ever have been certified diamond.
Which is,
ever.
That's great.
But yeah, it's crazy when you consider this list includes All About That Bass by Meghan Trainor.
Yeah.
Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran.
And
Despacito by Daddy Yankee and Louis Fonsi.
Despacito doesn't surprise me as much because that song was everywhere. But the Meghan Trainor one is definitely a shocker for me. But yeah, congratulations, Eminem. I'm surprised it took this long.
I mean, it's kind of been on rotation. I feel like it's been on rotation on the radio for a long time now.
Yeah.
I guess not.
It's one of those songs that's like timeless, which is weird to say, but a rap song.
Yeah, I think it is. I think you're right. The Academy Award winning Lose Yourself.
Yes.
All right.
Eminem has an Oscar.
Next
which
up.
he was not there to accept.
It's true. Next up, we have hopefully our last story about Fire Festival.
This probably will be our last story about Fire Festival.
Disaster of a festival that Ja Rule was involved in.
Yeah, so we have an official ruling coming down now.
Promoter Billy McFarland has pled guilty to 2 counts of wire fraud due to the festival and faces up to 10 years behind bars. McFarland admitted in federal court that he had defrauded 80 investors and falsified documents to secure more funds to put on the 2017 Fire Festival. In addition to the prison time, McFarland and Fire Media face more than a dozen civil suits and an ongoing bankruptcy liquidation of the company as investors and ticket buyers try to recover some of their losses. So bad time to be that guy.
Yeah. This is just the chickens coming home to roost type story. This guy's obviously going to jail. Good luck trying to start any other type of company, dude.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, and also the rest of these like civil suits are like individuals or a couple of them like band together. But this is the big one. This is the federal judgment that came down.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, this guy's done.
It makes that whole thing, like, really, you get news perspective on how much of a disaster that thing was. Like, right. For all sorts of reasons.
Yeah, and if you think 10 years jail time doesn't sound like a whole lot, that's because for defrauding, it's a 5 to 10 year sentence.
Yeah.
So, because he's being charged on 2 counts, there's a minimum 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's anywhere between 10 and 20 years, really. But I think I read that he took, because he pled guilty and it's that they'll give him the lower of the sentences.
Right, as is per usual.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know, man. That thing, it's just amazing how it's the gift that keeps on giving with news stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next up, another gift that keeps on giving is song copyright stories.
Yeah,
here's the newest, the freshest in the bunch.
Yes, Miley Cyrus is in the news.
Miley Cyrus is being accused, by Jamaican songwriter Michael May, to the tune of $300 million, claiming that the 2013 hit "We Can't Stop" infringes upon the song he released in 1988 called "We Run Things." May claims that about 50% of the song was used and accused Cyrus and RCA Records of misappropriating elements, including the phrase "We run things, we no run we," which I believe is kind of in the chorus of Miley's song.
Mm-hmm.
Miley is one of several writers credited on the song. She definitely did not write that alone.
No.
Among them is Mike Will Made It, my favorite named producers.
So, yeah, the article I read included their actual names, but I've just put their producer names because it was a lot more fun that way.
Yeah, Mike Will Made It, which I made a Twitter joke shortly after that album came out, Bangers.
Yeah.
I made a Twitter joke. Was like, wait, can I just have Mike Will make me things? Like, I just want a table that just says Mike Will Made It. It's like, well, I mean, he makes stuff. Anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, also co-writers on this song, P Nasty, Theron, not Charlize Theron, and Rock City, featuring samples in the song from Doug E. Fresh and Slick Rick.
Yeah.
So yeah, who knows whether they have a case there. I have not listened to the original song.
Neither have I.
Can't tell you.
But funny enough that this song, "We Can't Stop," came out at the same time as Blurred Lines.
Yeah,
and Blurred Lines end up losing that case for the Marvin Gaye.
So we will find out.
So yeah,
someone who will who hasn't been part of some of these copyright nonsense, at least yet, is country singer Tim McGraw. As you know, Tim McGraw is currently on tour with Faith Hill. I was kidding there.
Yes.
And they're in a special kind of reunion tour after they had done the same thing in the 90s. But he kind of had a bad time on a recent show. The singer collapsed on stage in Dublin, Ireland, while performing at the Country to Country Festival. McGraw had just finished performing his song "Humble and Kind" when he dropped to his knees and then sat down. Faith Hill addressed the crowd and said it was her decision to halt his performance, citing that he was super dehydrated.
Yeah, so after he knelt down, basically lights went down, they got him off stage, and then medical staff immediately treated him. After they figured out what was wrong, Faith Hill came back out and said that was the end of the concert, unfortunately.
Yeah. What you gonna do?
Well, you're gonna take care of yourself.
Yeah,
That's what
hopefully.
Yeah.
They're watching him now. Because that sucks. Being able to like in the middle of a performance to just can't do it, man.
Yeah, but there's actually like some precedent behind how he got super dehydrated.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's next.
He was attended to by a local medical staff on site and will be fine. McGraw had performed Friday in London, Saturday in Glasgow, and then Sunday in Dublin, and his next scheduled concert isn't until May 31st in Richmond, Virginia, so he has plenty of time to recover.
Yeah, but traveling to 3 different cities in 3 days
and
doing a full performance for each, that's like an hour and a half, and then flying, hour and a half, flying, hour and a half. Yeah, that's going to take a lot out of anybody.
So I guess our advice to those of you performing on stages with hot lights, man, drink your water.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yes.
Keep hydrated.
So beer is not a substitute for water.
No, it's not. Even though it's cheaper in some places. All right, that will do it.
If you're trying to save water and drink beer, please just
save a horse, ride a cowboy. Huh?
Yes.
That'll do it for music. Let's move into video games.
All right.
First up in video games, of course, is new releases.
What do we have coming up?
This week we have The Council on PS4, The Long Reach on PlayStation 4 and Switch, The American Dream on PC.
PlayStation.
Damn it. I do that every time when it's by itself. PS4.
I don't do PC releases.
Burnout Paradise Remastered, which I want to check out.
I know you do. That's why I put it on there.
For PS4 and Xbox One. Sea of Thieves on Xbox One.
That is finally
Xbox
getting
release.
released.
Titan Quest on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And arguably the big release this week, even though it's really Sea of Thieves, I'm lying to myself, is Kirby Star Allies for Switch.
Yes. If you happen to have or do the Xbox Game Pass, you'll get Sea of Thieves for free.
Cool. We do not.
We do not.
So we will not be doing that.
No.
Alright, so let's move into our first video game story of the week.
Skip, we're doing Nintendo first. We're talking about Nintendo's Direct.
Or not. Okay, we're going to talk about Nintendo. So Nintendo had a Direct. There was a lot of information here, so we'll try to go through this as quickly as possible.
Yes.
They announced 3DS and Switch games. First up, coming to Switch includes... We have a date for Super Mario Tennis Aces, which is the new Mario Tennis game. Yes. That will be released on June 22nd.
And it looks good.
It looks awesome.
Looks great. People are super excited about that game, as are we.
Yeah.
Well, no, as our Switch. But, yeah.
Yeah, that's our we.
Yes.
Undertale will be coming to Switch.
Yes, that was a
cult classic.
Yeah. It's basically on every other platform, so why not?
The Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy will end its exclusivity deal with Sony and will come out on Switch.
Yeah. So we do...
On July 10th.
Yeah, so we knew this was happening. We finally got a date. I believe that is the same date that it will go on Xbox as well.
Yeah. Square Enix RPG Octopath Traveler has a date as well. That will be released on July 13th. Dark Souls Remastered and Okami HD will both be coming this summer to Switch. Mm-hmm. And lastly on Switch, the big news was, of course, a Switch version of Super Smash Brothers.
Yes, wherein you could not only will you get the Splatoon people you can fight with, but also they had the outlines for the new Link from Breath of the Wild. They had the outline for Mario with Cappy on his hat, and I had one more, but I can't remember what outline, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah,
Breath of the Wild Link.
I just said that.
Okay.
Breath of the Wild, Mario, and Splatoon guys.
Obviously the Splatoon guys.
Yeah. There was one other outline that you could make out that was part of it. But yeah, so new Smash probably coming this year.
Well, before we commit to the phrase new Smash, we should address some of the confusion over this announcement.
Yeah.
It is unclear, and Nintendo did not clear this up, whether this is a port of the Wii Super Smash Brothers game, Wii U, Super Smash Brothers game with new characters, or if this is a completely new Super Smash Brothers. Nintendo has gone neither way to confirm either. So, chances are, due to some kind of information that leaked out afterwards, which includes Super Smash Brothers creator, I can never pronounce his name, Sakurai was his last name.
Sakurai was...
he confirmed that he is working on it.
Yes.
Which means that chances are it is a new game.
Right.
But they haven't said that, so who knows?
So
yeah.
We'll probably learn more about this during the
E3. This will be your big E3 game.
Yeah, the big E3 Nintendo Direct Treehouse thing that they do. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Also, don't worry though if you're a 3DS owner, because that system's getting games too. Coming to 3DS includes the original GameCube Luigi's Mansion coming to 3DS. This is notable because the sequel to Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon, was a 3DS launch game. Mm-hmm. So now you'll be able to complete your collection of Luigi's Mansion games with all two of them. But the big 3DS game that you don't have down here, and what I'm most excited for in that entire Direct, WarioWare Gold, which is a collection of 300 WarioWare minigames into one cartridge on the 3DS. I am so jazzed for this. I love WarioWare. I've loved every single WarioWare game so much. This one is a compilation of all the ones from the original to Touched on the DS to Twisted on the Game Boy Advance. I didn't play Twisted, so all those games will be new to me. And even new games, too. New mini games will be included. So I am looking forward to this like I don't even remember the last 3DS game I was excited for. Probably Pokemon.
Probably Pokemon.
But I'm jazzed.
You're trying to be honest with yourself.
I am jazzed. I can't wait. So, because there needs to be more WarioWare in the world.
Does there?
Yes, there does.
Does there?
That is an amazing series. That first game is one of my favorite games ever. It's so good. Alright, that does it for the Nintendo Direct.
Alright.
Next up, we have Google.
Yeah.
Story about Google.
Yeah, Google and Ubisoft?
Sure, why not? Yes, they are working together. They are collaborating on something called Agonies? Agonies. Agones? It's Greek.
Yeah.
Specifically, it's Greek for contest or gathering. This is a new open source project that uses, Kubernetes to host and scale dedicated game servers with the flexibility to tailor it for multiplayer games. Agones replaces the cluster management. What the hell does any of this mean? With the ability to create, run, manage, and scale dedicated game server processes. I feel like I'm just like in a loop right now, which allows any matchmaker to interact directly. Directly with what?
Directly with the server. So I'm just gonna. So that's a good try. I'm just gonna take it from here.
I have no idea
because I read it and I vaguely understood what it meant.
I don't understand it at all.
So normally when it comes with matchmaking servers, is that you have the host, you have you. Me. You log on to the host.
Okay.
The host logs on to a server.
All right.
The server is compiled of tens of hundreds of matchmaking systems.
And the server comes and gives you your drinks and you order a meal.
Right. Yeah, and I also get the large fry because of course I do.
It's large fries.
Fries for days. But yeah, so what this will do is eliminate the use of just having this big jumbled mess of within the server, and just simplify everything. So that way, a developer can influence an ongoing match directly, and fix any bugs directly, and help everything directly instead of doing it individually or trying to find where the mess eventually is.
Okay.
It's basically a developer software that simplifies the matchmaking process and simplifies the back end development. It has nothing to do with how we connect and how we play. This is all for developers' sake, but the fact that Google is working with Ubisoft on this is the big story of what we're going to get out of this.
I guess. I mean, this will only affect... Will this only affect Ubisoft games, or will this be something that they lease out?
Because it's Google, I think it's something that they'll lease out.
Yeah.
But then because it's Ubisoft, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's why I asked. Yeah, that's... okay, cool. So, if you like jargon...
Yeah.
The story was for you.
Yeah,
All right, moving on.
If you're into development messes and trying to clean them up, check out Google Agonies. Oh, the Agonies.
All right, so moving on from technical jargon to political jargon. Our very own White House, our president, met with the video game industry. Well, kind of. To talk about violence in video games, as our president, had said he was going to. Well, it actually kind of happened.
You say kind of.
To help prove their point, they used YouTube gameplay of several, quote, violent, unquote, video games, including Call of Duty Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2, Sniper Elite 4, Friday the 13th, Wolfenstein, and Fallout 4.
Yeah. Most of those are M-rated games. Also funny.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them are M-rated.
I want to say that the Friday the 13th, it may be...
No, it's definitely an M-rated game.
Okay, so yeah. So they decided to use M-rated games to try and prove their point.
I mean, that would do it.
But, they left out the big one, GTA.
Yeah.
Or Doom.
They'll come up later. The response by video game makers has been, of course, to blame gun rights activists for deflection on the issue, and refer to the 2011 Supreme Court decision that ruled that even violent video games were protected under the First Amendment. Basically, we already had this talk. Where were you?
Yeah. They're just well, I thought we already solved this.
Yeah.
We have our own rating system.
It's done.
What more do you want from us?
You're trying to get away from the point.
Yeah.
Is what they're saying. So, who showed up? You asked?
Some big names.
Yeah, but there's an asterisk to a couple of these. Attendees include Strauss Zelnick, chairman of Take-Two Interactive, and a guy named Robert Altman, not that Robert Altman, chairman of ZeniMax Media.
Yeah.
In addition to Republican representatives and the president himself.
Yes.
Real quick, I want to add something that might be of use to our audience that I don't know if you read. You know who else is on the board of ZeniMax?
Who?
None other than Donald Trump Jr.
Oh, I did read that, actually.
Yeah. Fun city, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, turns out that it may have been family ties that got ZeniMax to show up. And you'll notice a distinct lack of anybody from the any Japanese companies, like Sony, for example. Any of the major console holders, none of them showed.
Sony Entertainment America, Nintendo America, Microsoft.
So basically what I'm getting at is I don't know if you can call this a meeting with the industry if you talk to a grand total of 2 companies.
Right. If you talk to, a handful compared to even, none of the big players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super weird. Just super weird choice. No decision has been made out of this.
No decision will be made out of this.
No, nothing will happen out of this. It was just basically a play that Trump was going to use to say, hey, look, I'm doing something about this.
Which, he just sat there with arms crossed. Was like, do I have to be here? When's it over? When's lunch? Can I get back to TV? Can I get back to tweeting?
Yeah. Also, a fun a couple of fun things came out of this. First fun thing that came out of this is that apparently they just grabbed all this footage for the violent video games from YouTube, and I guess part of the footage that they used for Fallout 4 was some giant bomb footage of Giant Bomb's Dan Reichert playing through Fallout 4.
Yes.
So, yeah. So now I guess the president is seeing giant bomb videos.
Technically, yes. It was weird because there was I was watching the video that they showed, and in addition to just straight up cutscenes, there was gameplay. But because it was YouTube gamers gameplay, they had to put their user name somewhere on the video.
It's pretty funny.
So one of them was No Scope 360 Blaze.
Well, what do you expect? All right, let's move on. The last story today is about EA. Also not represented at their little shindig.
Yep.
So, aside from making gamers use its own Origin client to run and update games, EA is now making you verify that it's you. Wait. Yeah. Verify that if it... Wait. They're making you verify that you're yourself if you haven't played the game in over 120 days. If you try to access the game, you will receive an error message prompting, go reactivate your access via email.
Yeah, it's weird, but yet also kind of understandable.
It's kind of harmless, too.
Yeah.
Basically hey, what's your password? You haven't done this in a while.
Well, no, it's not that you haven't logged into Origin.
Yeah.
It's if you haven't played this specific game.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty unobtrusive. Yeah. Well, apparently there's a reason why they're doing it. The new verification is a direct result of hacking done through their FIFA game last year in a way to make sure EA keeps supporting certain games.
Right. It's also a way to cure any phishing that may be going on as well, as they're using a dedicated email address for this. So that way, if you get an email address that just straight up says from EA.com, that's not them. It's a specific ending URL that they're using.
Right. That's probably good. So yeah, it's just them covering their butts about a couple things is what it sounds like.
Yeah, this is a marketing and legal maneuver for EA, which they needed to do.
Right now is not a great time to be EA.
No,
it's definitely not after last year.
Right after the end of the last year with loot boxes and now this
everything,
and
man.
Tagging. Yeah, EA's trying to earn some public favor, but
we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, we'll see if put out a good game first that we want.
Right.
That's not a sports game.
Man, I hope Anthem's good.
Anthem. Oh, speaking of Anthem, I was reading today. This was almost going to be one of our news stories, but apparently they let the writer go.
Oh no.
Yes, the head writer who also did Mass Effect.
Yeah.
And the other one they did. I don't know, Mass Effect and something else. But yeah, So he's done. He's done over there at BioWare working at Anthem.
Man.
Which means that either the script is done or he's done and they're going to curtail the end of Anthem to whatever EA wants, which is what happened with Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah, which might happen.
Yeah.
All right. So that'll do it for that main story, but we have one last thing we need to talk about. We need to address the very small elephant in the room.
You want to show him?
I mean, yeah, we can use visual aid here.
Okay, we can use visual aid here.
Media Boat Podcast now owns a Nintendo Switch. So this is more of a programming update than anything else. We will now be covering Switch games. So look forward to that.
Our first game?
We've been playing a lot of Mario Odyssey. We don't really need to dwell on it because it's kind of an old game now. We will be focusing mostly on games released in the year of 2018.
Yeah. The first big one is going to be the upcoming
Kirby Star Allies, which I will try to get a copy of that going in here. If I return that tomorrow, I should probably have a good chance to get one over the weekend.
If you don't, I will. If you further not forget, I'll do it for you.
Fair enough. We'll hopefully be covering some Kirby. But yeah, we're having a lot of fun with the Switch so far with Mario Odyssey, making everybody happy over here. A lot of oohs and ahs.
I've yet to actually play it, but
you got to play that thing tonight. You should sit down and do that tonight.
I'll play it tomorrow.
After you eat some pie.
Yeah, we eat some pie. I'll play it tomorrow.
So yeah, we'll have more about that next week. But for now, that will do it for the Media Boat Podcast. We will be back next Wednesday, as we always are, at 8 p.m. Pacific Time, live here on YouTube. If you want to find us on YouTube to watch us live, just search Media Boat Podcast and you'll find our page. Click that bell to get notifications when we go live to know right away. You can also catch our audio version of the podcast on any podcast subscription feed you follow, including Apple Podcasts and all sorts of others. You can find us on social media too. We're at Media Boat Cast on Twitter. We're on Facebook. Just search Media Boat Podcast and you'll find our page there. Like it, comment on it. You can find writing that we've done about things we've seen, special features about box office numbers and new releases on MediaBoatPodcast.com. So check that out for all our written works. You can also find us on Patreon.com, where you can help us with donating as little as $1 a month, which helps you get special content that we haven't even made yet because we have no patrons. It's kind of like a weird cycle like that. And you can make us make our content even better with the help of financial support. Lastly, if we've stream any video games anytime soon, even though we've been really skipping on that lately, that will be on twitch.tv/MediaBoat. So check that out as well. So that'll do it. We'll be back. Oh, we haven't plugged this yet. We are deep in our own March Madness.
Yes.
Pixar Madness, which is our ranking of all 19 of the Pixar films.
Yes.
We are currently halfway there. No, we're over halfway there.
Tomorrow, episode 3.
Tomorrow will be episode 3 of the show. We are going through each Pixar movie chronologically to determine its right to stand amongst the rest of them in order of quality. In the very, very last edition, which will be next week, we will then find a final list of 19. We'll determine what the best Pixar film really is.
And that's when we get really heated, because we have some darlings that we're going to fight for, especially when we get to like top 7.
So you can find the existing 2 episodes were already recorded up on our regular podcast feed right now. That would be the audio feed. And the 3rd episode will be going up tomorrow, Thursday. So the day you hear this podcast, probably. So yeah, check that out. In the meantime, we'll be back next week. So peace out, bros.
Thank you all for listening. We'll see you guys next week, or you can catch us doing the Pixar Madness right now.
Bye.
Okay, bye. YouTube After Show. Thank you guys for sticking around. Please comment if you're here. We read comments live. We answer your questions live.
It's true.
Just talk with us.
Please do something.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Okay,
bye.